We're live on opposite day, apparently. But hello, you may notice that this is not our usual setup. Yes, two of our players have tested positive for COVID, so we are being safe and distancing ourselves this session. But it won't be forever. You may also notice a couple other things. Firstly, we have a new donation goal down in the bottom corner for a brand new set, which this kind of gives you a little sneak peek of. The table is behind me now instead of off to the side, and we'll have a solid table in order to get the setup to nice standards so all of us can play. That's what the goal is. And when I say all of us, I'm also including our brand new player to the table. Or in this case, the Discord. Everyone say hi to Pockets!
Hi.
And how many spare characters have you made? Just asking.
I have.
Oh wait, I'm not DMing this one. You're fine. You're fine.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Death is always a possibility in this campaign. Last we left off. Say it like Yoda as I'm about to do the last, really? Last tab on? Okay.
Absolutely.
On this last, our heroes found themselves in quite a pickle. They discovered Valkyrie's mother stuck to a tree, losing all strength. They freed her and brought her to Ystlian, the city of the Feywild. But they discovered from the local cleric that some sort of life transference magic had been used on her, and that the best they could do was a stasis. They met up with Jeremiah, innkeeper at the Rosewood Rest Pit, a longtime friend of Valkyrie's mother. They were able to secure lodging, as well as a library pass for one of them, and 2 odd jobs. Jalen secured a job doing some espionage on a strange couple from out of town staying in the inn.
Gotta keep it going, man. Come on.
To those that don't know, Teddy was sick last session, so he missed, and his character was being puppeted by Night's Fall over here. And Kelmorn secured a job translating a rather curious book for one of the...
Demon Smut. Let's call one.
For one of the local legends of the library. This is how the session starts. Alright, it's okay. I have my fire and blood dice ready to go, so.
As long as it's not the one that you keep rolling 20s on, we're good.
No, it is not the fuck yeah dice.
Good.
I opted not to use that one. This has... Jesus, that's loud in my ear holes! Sorry. Sound alert. The creepy mommy one was just real loud in my ears. Louder than my own children.
Gee, I wonder.
You all exited Jeremiah's office, left to your own devices to finish your jobs in the order you see fit. So, what would you like to do?
Well, Calmorn is probably going to be busy double translating that book.
Of
So,
course.
I don't know if there's a hidden spell in there or whatever, so I'm making 2 copies.
Okay.
So I'm spying on a couple.
Yes, there's a couple staying at the inn that is from out of town and is rather mysterious, according to Jeremiah.
So where am I at? Where are they at right now?
They're staying at the Rosewood Respite. They're currently in their room, and you are in the common room, or the tavern section, rather, downstairs.
Well, we should probably explain to him why they're unusual. Or potentially so.
Outsiders don't often come to Islian. They are few and far between, to say the least. Most folks tend to avoid the Feywild altogether. These two appear to be normal elven couple, but no one seems to have any idea who they are.
But I've seen them already, correct?
You've been
We've seen them,
informed
have we?
of them. No, you've been informed of
Yeah.
them. You were specifically instructed not to be seen while observing them. Or at least not noticed.
We're at the innkeeper with Jeremiah.
Yes.
Is he where I can see him or talk to him? No, he knows us, right? I'm sorry. Let me get a little catch up here, but he knows us, right?
Yes, he's been introduced to, yeah, he's been introduced to all of you. He's the one who gave you specifically the mission. He's offered to help make sure Valkyrie's mother is all right, as well as attempt to figure out some way to reverse engineer the life transference magic.
So I'm gonna ask Jeremiah if I can get the room next to theirs.
Certainly. That should make things a bit easier for you. Do the rest of you have preferences in rooms? Do you prefer to stay close by your friend here, or?
Does everybody else have a room yet or no?
It hasn't been decided which room you'd be setting in, just that you all would have rooms here.
I'll just. Are they with me or am I by myself?
You and Valkyrie
with
are
you.
there. Kelmorn and
Someone
Tifala.
lost me. I did recall listening to that. He lost me. So I don't know if I'm there.
Calborn's just a little bit busy right now. But I would like to have a room that's close to Valkyrie just in case I need to smash some people's faces in.
Alright. So, clustered together as much as possible. At least one of you will be a little bit separated only by a room, but I do have two that are next to each other, one across from that, and one, like I said, a room over.
I'll take the further one away. Just in case we get targeted, I think I can survive.
Very well.
I will
No.
survive. Oh yeah.
He hands Valkyrie and Jalen the keys to distribute.
Can't get it. Oh, you almost got it. I don't do that for real. Alright, so I have the key. I have my key. I'll give Valkyrie the other keys so she can whatever she wants to do with them.
You know, I can have Lamar kind of sniff around too. He's kind of unobtrusive, kind of can blend in pretty well. Pretty stealthy. And he can climb.
I just want to go to the room and see if I can hear anything next to them. See what I hear coming from the room next to them first before.
I see that, Night's Fall. And go ahead and roll a perception check.
Who?
I'll give you guidance.
You, the one listening in.
Nat 20.
What a way to start the game. All right.
Plus your guidance.
Well, it's 29 without guidance. What guidance is what?
A
D4?
D4, yeah. Goodness gracious. So 30 plus. All right.
Plus 2, 31.
So you listen in carefully, and you can hear some bits of discussion. You feel like normally they're the quiet type, so they don't expect anyone to be able to hear right now. But you hear the female of the couple saying, "They're going to find us. I don't care how much protection this place has. They're going to find a way." You hear the gentleman in kind of an angry but trying to reassure tone. "My family can't follow us here. Well, not the ones we're concerned with, anyways. Let's just get ourselves some drinks, get ourselves some dinner, and try and relax for at least one night. Please." You hear what sounds like a drawer opening and closing, some footsteps, and then the door to the room opens and then closes. I had to even give you the drawer with a freaking nat 20. Like, that's...
I can hear the insects growing on top.
What'd you hear? Anything?
Nope, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, the woman said, she was very worried that said that they're going to find a way. And the guy was reassuring her that, you know, no one can find them there. That his family couldn't find them there, at least not the ones that matter. And it sounds like maybe they're going to go get something to eat.
So I wonder if they're running from the same type of people that we are, or if, I mean, maybe they're not the bad guys?
Unless the family are the good guys.
Yeah.
As
Did you hear
the
anything
daylight... Go
Why don't
ahead.
you follow them to see where they eat. I'll go check out the room. And then you let me know when they're on the way back. You can do that mind talking thing, right? Like you
Yep.
did to me before.
Mind
Pretty
talking
sure that
thing.
was you.
else? It was me.
Okay.
I mean, you
Gotta be
recognize my
Kilmore. I don't
voice, right? I mean,
You know, Kilmore
Yeah.
plays all kinds of tricks, so I don't know.
Well, this is true.
You're not there.
I don't know that he can do that though.
Oh,
Maybe
no,
he can. There's lots of things that he can do that I don't know about yet, I think. But yeah, I will let you know if I see them coming back.
Okay.
It is at this time that daylight begins to turn to dusk and the library begins to close. Kelmorn and Tifala, you are being asked to leave. And Pockets, your character would be getting off duty at this point. Probably going to your regular dining of choice at the Rosewood Rest Pit. So, Valkyrie, as you go down the stairs following this elven couple, you would see entering. Care to describe your character, Pockets?
So my character is a female centaur. She's wearing her work clothes still, which are black robes. And she has all sorts of like different. Like it looks like one's an arcane focus, and then she has like a bag on her side, which she probably carries stuff in there for spells or something. And she has this staff which has a sort of like a crescent moon shape on it. And she's all white. Like her hair is pure white. Her horse half is all white. It's kind of spooky. And she will go up to the barkeep or whoever serves the food there and ask for her usual because she goes there pretty often.
And you'll get it easily enough. And, they were accustomed to serving centaurs here, so there are a few section. Demon Damien, what do you mean, Circa? There are a few sections where centaurs can dine comfortably since they can't really, sit in a booth.
Yeah, I mean, we can try, but it would be really awkward.
Heidi, if you're trying to follow the couple stealthily, I will need you to roll a stealth.
Okie dokie.
And Pockets, go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Perception?
Yep.
Alrighty.
See if you notice the newcomer following the new couple.
Let's see, I rolled a 22 plus my d4. So 23.
Very nice.
Yeah, no, that's a 12.
You don't notice her. You notice the couple leaving. But you don't notice Heidi. She wouldn't stand out much anyways, as another Eladrin amongst many. You follow the couple out, and they go only a few buildings down to what looks like a little tea shop that has various small sandwiches, light foods, basically not the heavy stuff you would expect at a tavern. Do you go inside?
Yeah.
You go inside and are greeted by for a centaur, they are fairly small in stature and almost fragile looking. They're in typical server garb, but a little bit fancier. Care for a table, miss?
Sure, yes, please. That would be very nice.
Have you been to this establishment before? I do not recognize you.
I haven't. It's beautiful, though.
Thank you. And you'll notice that the aromas in here is a mix of a bunch of different freshly ground teas and freshly steeped teas. It almost smells like an herbal garden. You're guided to your seat.
It smells amazing in here.
I thank you. We grind and steep the tea ourselves here, so everything is as fresh as possible. Do you have a
would you
preference? Oh, well, if you prefer sweeter things, we do have some that are infused with dried berries. If you prefer a bit of an earthier tea, we do have some nice black teas. If you're looking for something to put a bit of kick in your step, we do have a special chai blend.
Oh, that's all tempting. Maybe I'll try the berry. I like sweets.
Very well. One raspberry oolong coming right up. And they'll saunter off, and as they saunter off, you notice that the tables are set far enough apart so that centaur servers can easily go through. So it'll be a little bit hard to attempt to overhear anything from the couple, but you can see them.
I think I'm going to... Does it look like they're talking right now? Can I see if they're just like perusing a menu or if they're actually like having a conversation?
It seems like they've finished placing their order a little bit before you did and are having small chatter as they wait. They don't have a very serious look on their face. Well, go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
All right.
Kelmorn, while you're scribing this book, why don't you go ahead and give me an intelligence check to make sure you can translate efficiently.
17.
Well, the translating efficiently, I can read all writing, thanks to my warlock invocation.
I am aware, but due to the nature of the context...
Okay. Understandable. So that's a 4. Intelligence check, I have a 0 modifier.
Would you like to use
so
the...
distracted by all the smut.
Would you like to use the player gets a crit, where you have a 50-50
Sure.
shot? Okay. And that was a crit fail. So not any better, unfortunately. You are very affluent in written word as far as pretty much anything goes, but some of the verbiage and just raunchy descriptors and details in here are just a little bit out of your grasp, especially considering that this is not the material that has been on your mind for quite some time.
Player would have no problem with it, character would.
And what was your role, Heidi?
17.
And that was to attempt to, that was the insight. You can see that the woman is fairly tense, trying to relax, but definitely still tense. You can see that the man is holding himself, you know, relaxed shoulders, but upright posture. Very proper. The gentleman is very proper in his stance while trying to be calming, gently holding her hand, and it seems like he's attempting to soothe her. What are you doing at the moment, Jalen?
So I'm gonna go to the door.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I need to check. I'm gonna check for traps. I would see if there's. I don't know. I mean, it's the end, but I'm still cautious. I'm just gonna look. I don't know. Check. For
Okay, this isn't the maze campaign. This isn't the second chance trials, all right? So you're gonna check for traps. You're gonna check for traps on the on the
it's good
inn
that
room.
It's not because that character couldn't find any traps anyway. So
No, that character could. It was that one shot that we could. I was ridiculous. I have no idea what happened.
with no rogue skills.
I don't know.
All right, go ahead and roll investigation.
Do I still have insight?
What do you mean insight?
Or guidance? I'm sorry. Guidance.
That's a one-time thing, I believe.
Okay, 17.
Okay. You examine the door. It seems pretty normal. It, in fact, even seems like they didn't even bother to lock it.
Let's try to open this door slowly.
You open it, and it creaks open with the slow movement. You look inside. The bed is made and tidy. Everything is organized. There's some papers in a stack on the desk, a quill in a jar with some ink. There is a couple of drawers in the desk and a wardrobe on the on the far side.
Like a wardrobe chest.
Yes.
Let's take the low-hanging fruit. Let's check that paper out.
Okay. You go over to the paper, and it seems like it's the beginnings of a diary entry that was partly interrupted. Like, it interrupted partway through.
Can I read it?
I'm assuming you can read Elvish since you're an elf, so yes.
Yes. What? No, doesn't mean they wrote it in Elvish.
You read it, and it is definitely the woman's handwriting. She is speaking about the Vertenmeers coming to find them.
Say it again.
Vertenmeer. You see her. She speaks of this important family, the Vertenmeers, tracking them down, but that not being the only family that they're trying to run from. And as it gets to the part where it's about to mention the rest, it's interrupted.
Yeah, I heard the drawer open. Let's check the drawers.
Okay. You check the top drawer and it is locked.
Come back to this. That's the only drawer that had any, that's the only one that's locked or has anything in it.
The bottom drawer is unlocked. You open it up, and it seems like some random supplies, possibly magical components, but as not being a one of the arcane, it's not your forte. Go ahead and roll another investigation for me. This will determine what all you find as you look through the room, not just the drawers. Oh my Lanta! Knight's Ball! Just gifted 10 subs! That's gonna be going off for a hot minute. Hi, CTD! We just had Knight's Fall come in, dropping some subs. Now we have a poll going asking about how your day's been. Things are happening. Knight's Fall is being thanked by everyone for the subs.
Go back to RP. Go back to RP. Pay no attention to the man in the blue. Pay no attention to the man in the blue camera.
All attention paid.
Oh my Lance. It's hard not to pay attention to that when we've got brum, brum going off 10 times now. What was your investigation, Teddy?
12.
Alright. Do you investigate anything else in the room? The bed, the wardrobe, underneath the bed? Goodness gracious.
That's a very leading statement. No,
You-
the wardrobe next.
Alright, so we head over to the wardrobe. It's unlocked. You open it up and you see there's mostly clothes, but one trinket that perturbs you a bit. It is a small bird skull.
Like a real one?
Yes, it seems fairly out of place for how pristine and proper everything else is. It's cleaned and treated, so it doesn't stink or anything like that. It doesn't have any tissues on it.
I'm gonna do something really dumb. I'm gonna pick it up and examine it, see if I know where it came from.
Okay, go ahead and roll a nature check for me.
Could be the slightest.
22.
Very nice.
I feel like that could be the slightest.
This is, from the looks of it, a canary skull. An oddly common bird that you wouldn't expect to see in the Feywild. And you certainly wouldn't expect to see them flying around this time of year, even in normal material plane. As far as how old the skull is, since it's been treated, it's hard to tell. It's definitely been properly treated, so it can keep, though. All attention on the blurry man, says chat.
I guess we'll just round out the room in general. Under the bed, whatever I look at in there.
Are you making it a point to put things back how you left
Yes, oh,
it,
absolutely,
or?
yes.
Okay,
I was thinking about taking it, but no, that wouldn't be me.
okay. Go ahead and roll a, let's say, wisdom, to be able to keep things back before you left it.
Like just a wisdom in general.
Yes, just a wisdom check. Just to make sure you remember how things were, just to see if anything's... Okay. I'll remember that. You don't find anything else of note in the room. Pockets! What is your character
Yes.
doing as she consumes her meal? Is there anything else she typically does after her days of work?
She has borrowed a book from the library to study, find some interesting things in her craft.
All right. I like the vagueness. I understand what you mean. Tifala, what are you doing at this point? I'm assuming Kelmorn is translating in his room, so what would Tifala be doing?
I guess mixing some potions.
Alright. So you'd be mixing in your room then?
Yeah, playing with the weasel as well.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Tifala and Kelmorn.
I'm done. I'm just done. This is a bad dice.
Jail. Imprisonment.
It's
That
a
would be
2.
9.
Okay.
Dang.
Moving right along then there.
This book is
Can I
opening
just-
my eyes to new things that I'm gonna have to try in the campaign.
Oh
Can I just
god.
keep my passive? Like, can I just keep my passive, please?
That's an ask before you roll kind of thing.
2 plus 7, it's 9. Or 17 is a passive. Next time I'm just gonna go with passive.
Alright. So both of you got 9. Noted. Moving right along. Heidi. The couple has been here for a good 20-30 minutes. You've been sipping on your tea. What's left is starting to get cold now. You're getting strange glances of curiosity from the Centaur server every now and then, but they're not disturbing you.
I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to just get up and I'm gonna go and walk over to their table and just
Alright.
kind of plop my butt down with them with a big
Oh.
smile on my face.
Alright. Do you sit next to the woman or the man? They're sitting across from each other.
I will sit next to a woman.
Alright. You do so, and she kind of gasps in response, but does move over, like, instinctively. Just as if she's used to having to make way for people. The gentleman, not losing his posture or demeanor at all, simply glances over at you. Slightly furrows one of his eyebrows. Can we help you?
Hi. I noticed you guys are kind of new. I'm kind of new. So
If you
what you up to?
trying to enjoy a meal with my wife. And if you're new, how would you know if we're new?
Because you don't look like you go here.
And what is that supposed to mean?
I mean, really? Look around. You are looking she's looking really nervous, kind of watching your surroundings. I saw you leave the inn and you just look a
So
little
you
bit
followed
uncomfortable.
us.
No, I'm just observant.
So you just so happened to see us leave the inn and just so happened to end up at this same tea shop as us. Go ahead and roll a deception check.
Sure. I'm not really trying to be deceptive.
He asked if you had followed them and you said you did not.
A 30.
Okay.
I have a plus 12 to deception, so yeah. I didn't even bother doing guidance on that. So yeah.
um as he's kind of looking you up and down and trying to figure you out, you hear a small bit of clatter as the fragile centaur from earlier stumbles and drops one of the plates of food that they were bringing over. Oh, sorry. I'll fix this up and bring it to you right away, sir. And then she cleans it up and scampers. She's briefly distracted. The woman has not stopped staring at you. What, though, even with the distraction? She's definitely still nervous, especially when you mention that she's been nervous.
Okay. If I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Might come back to bite me in that butt, but you know, sometimes you gotta take a risk. And you just gotta say, what the fuck? And throw it out there and see what happens. So that's what I'm gonna do.
We're not into, like, the three-way thing, if that's what you're getting at.
Then, I mean, you're not my type. I mean, I have a pretty broad range of type, but you don't fit into it. That's not. Never mind. That's not what I'm after. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm being honest with you guys, is I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth around this table, and I deliberately choose to fail it, so I will be telling you the truth also.
They share a concerned glance with one another. You can... I'll go off of your insight earlier. You can see that for a moment it seems as if the male is ready to just get up and leave. But the woman seems curious. So he stays. And what about us makes you so curious that you'd want to do this? Why are you so concerned with one nervous woman?
Because I've got people chasing me, and I kind of think they might be chasing you too. And I want to know if they're the same people, and maybe we can help each other.
I can tell you right now, they almost assuredly are not.
My friends and I have quite a few different people chasing us, so you never know.
And what is
Either
the
way, we might be able to help each other.
What is the save on the Zone of Truth?
It is a charisma 16.
All right. The woman chooses to fail. The man does not choose to fail, but does anyways. I'm sorry that you have people hunting you, but that is all the more reason for us not to be companions. If we do not have the same people hunting us, that simply puts more eyes on our back.
But we might be able to help you.
Who is we? All I see is you.
Oh, I have friends.
And they let you follow strange couples off on your own while you're being hunted.
Self-sufficient and resourceful.
I would like to point out
Well-
Gilmore did not know this.
You know, it's not exactly like I have to seek permission. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can do what I want.
You certainly can. But if they are friends, I imagine they would be concerned. How long have you known these friends?
Not as long as I probably would like to, but I know that I can trust them. And there's just something about you that I thought, you know, like I said, sometimes you just have to say what the fuck and see what happens. And I just had a feeling that maybe we could be of assistance. Either to help you or maybe share information or just whatever. Either way, I thought I'd give it a shot.
You are insistent, I will give you that much. But we do not really need information. We know exactly who is hunting us because it is my own family. Do you have your family hunting you?
Yeah?
And why, pray
Maybe
tell,
it's
is
not as
that?
novel of a thing as I thought.
No,
Seems to be
apparently.
kind of a theme. It really sucks, but you know.
Yes, well, when you live as long as we do, betrayal tends to creep up at some point or another.
Yeah, right now my mom is fighting for her life because my godmother killed my dad and tried to kill her. So, you know, shit happens.
Well, that's a burden to bear.
Well, you know, family, what are you gonna do? Doesn't make for very good holidays, but oh well. So, your family's hunting you. You didn't answer if they're in a cult.
They are not in a cult. They're hunting me because
But
though...
to be fair though, do cults really acknowledge themselves as a cult? Or I think they kind of tend to not put themselves in that category. But I don't know.
Trust me, I do not align with them. Were they a cult, I would call them as much. They are
Okay.
not a cult. They are simply hunting me because, well, though I am only half noble, I am still noble, and they think it unfit for me to wed a commoner.
Well, that's pretty bitchy. You should be able to love who you want to love.
Our
Some of
thoughts
their business.
precisely. Hence why we left.
So are they trying to get you to come back to like rule or marry somebody else or both?
They have no one else in line because, well, their only other son is sick at death's door. So while I'm not their first choice by any means, I am currently their only one. And should my half-brother pass, I will have to marry his betrothed.
And I'll pat the lady's hand. I'm like, I'm so sorry. That's horrible.
I'm just grateful that I even have earned his affection, honestly. That he's willing to do so much for me.
I'm sure you him in return. So that's great. I think you guys seem to be a good match. What's wrong with your brother?
Some strange illness. He was once a powerful spellcaster, but then his magic began to fade, and with it he grew some illness that's kept him bedridden, cold sweats, and at death's door for 3 weeks now.
What the healer said?
The healers have no clue. They've never seen anything like it. It enraged my mother. She insisted they were simply incompetent. She fired them on the spot.
Sort of similar to what's going on with my mom. Except for it's like it's taken her life force. She lost her ability to cast as well. But my godmother did that to her. But I don't know that she didn't do it to someone else either.
So your godmother is what? Some magic vampire leeching off of powerful magic users?
She didn't used to be, but she got mixed up with a bad crowd.
Define bad crowd.
The cult and a demon, maybe?
A demon?
Sounds like it.
Of all 9 hells, it seems I cannot rid of myself of this dark nonsense. I apologize for what your mother is going through, and it may very well be the same thing that my half-brother is going through, but frankly, he was an asshole and kind of deserves to be in this situation. I have
but
no
if he
desire
could be
to.
saved, then you wouldn't have to rule, because he could.
That's
You
the
guys could
problem.
go do
He
your own
would.
thing.
That's the problem. He would. I would sooner have an empty throne than see him in power. At this point, the
Not
woman
sure what to
chimes.
say to that.
This point, the woman chimes in. He was very much an asshole. He beat the servants. He would burn the chefs if anything was even slightly overcooked. I don't even want to get into what he would do to animals. He was not a good person.
Horrible. Okay, so saving him may be like really, really low on the list of priorities then.
Yes. Bottom
Way
of the
down.
list. Very bottom.
And how are you guys going to, like, get away from your family then?
Well, we
It would
heard
really
of.
suck if you had to go back. I mean, it sounds like you'd make a great ruler, to be fair, but not if you have to marry some, like, sister-in-law type situation.
You
and
do
give
not
up your
even
love.
know me, yet you would say that I would make a great ruler. For all you know, I'm
Well,
only
you
half as
called
bad
out
as
your
my
own
brother.
for being a piece of shit, so, I mean, that's a pretty good sign. And you're running away to try to be with the person you love and take care of her. Also a good sign.
I am simply being as selfish as my father.
Couldn't you work out some type of deal where you'd go back, but only if you were allowed to bring her with you and marry her?
Trust me, that is the first thing I tried, and they tried to put her on death's door.
Shitty families, I don't know. I wish I could do something to help. Think on it. How long are you guys gonna be in town?
Well, considering the Rosewood Rest Pit has an anti-tracking thing going on with it, probably a little while. And yourself?
We'll be here for a while. We're waiting for a friend to come that might be able to help us with my situation.
Oh.
He does some stuff with, he knows blood magic.
You see him
So if you think anything will help there,
You
I can
see
maybe
him
hook you up with him.
immediately tense up as you mention blood magic. Like, he's kept his composure the entire time, but he is... But he is extremely uncomfortable and tense and loses all manner of noble stature at this point.
He's
So
not
you-
creepy blood magic. He's a good guy. Here, I'll give you his business card just in case.
No,
and then
it
you
is...
can tell him, if you do reach out, just tell him that I sent you. I'm Kiri. He knows who I am.
Blood
He's not
magic?
creepy.
Blood magic
He's
is
okay.
blood magic.
No, he doesn't use it for bad things. He's very helpful.
You see he's beginning to get angry at this point. And he goes, I have enough of the accursed necromantic magic around me because of my godforsaken father. I do not need more around me, and I believe it is time that we go. And him and the woman kind of stand up abruptly.
If you change your mind.
And he storms off. The woman's just kind of like, sorry, and then follows after him. -1 tact, says Chad.
Well, I will cast sending to Jalen. And I'm going to say, at the tea shop, on my way back, couple seems okay. Definitely not cult related.
I mean, I wouldn't
Answer back.
wouldn't say definitely. The guy just said he had a necromantic father, but go on.
So I told him he can answer back. And then I will leave a nice tip and head back myself.
So he's
Taking notes?
yes, I am. Except my writing is not the best, especially when I'm trying to write fast.
Well, I just had
Alright,
some...
let's meet back in the room and we can talk about it there.
I just had some company arrive, so we can go to a quick brief. You can take some more time for those notes if you'd like. And we will be right back.
How long will this break be? Oh, okay, yeah, that is brief. But it'll give me enough time to get a drink.
Welcome back. Cloud showed up, or? Okay, well, let me do something else. Hold on. Let's see, we got the Yoda boys. Where's the frog?
Oh, stop it. No. Stop. And we're back. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for putting up with that. It's so loud. It's so
I'm just gonna look over and be like, what is that face for?
That was the mommy scare alert again, and it was so loud. So loud in my ear holes. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. Now I can't stop doing this with my hands.
Hello, motherfucker.
Hello, motherfucker. Indeed. Brief glimpse at my mom. But love you, Mama. Son. See you tomorrow. After that lovely little mommy and hello, motherfucker, let's get right back to game, shall we? You had your little sending message. He said that you should speak back at the tavern. It would have been about, let's say, 40 minutes now. Tifala, I don't know how long you'd be mixing your potions, and Pockets, I don't know how long you would be consuming your meal and studying, but...
Not very long. After a little while, I would have gotten a little tired of reading, would have closed up my book and walked outside to view the stars. If there are stars in the Feywild, at least.
There are. At least this section of the Feywild has stars. As you go outside, you see that couple that was leaving as you came in is returning, angry. Well, at the very least, the gentleman is... Would you put your Tiamat down, Nightfall? At the very least, the man is angry, and the woman seems a bit frantic. You can tell that much just in passive observation.
Can I make an insight check to see what might be bothering them?
Certainly.
Uh, 12.
They seem like they're not typically in this mood, and it doesn't seem like a spat between the two of them. You see the woman occasionally, like, glances back. By the way, Heidi, are you attempting to be stealthy as you go back to the tavern, or?
Nope.
And then
That's where I'm gonna be, so I'm not trying to hide anything from them.
That almost sounded like one of those little dogs yelping. That no.
Nope. But
the dog that has the most attitude. Yeah.
So the woman sees you as she's glancing back, and the Pockets, that means that you'll see the woman glancing back at Heidi.
Just keep that in mind. I won't do anything about it.
I'm just going back to my room. I'm not really, like, stalking you.
And you would hear that as well. Tifala, how long would you spend making your potions and what have you?
I probably would be done and, like, coming out to figure out what everyone else is doing.
Got a little visitor.
So, the person that's following the couple,
Mm-hmm.
Do they seem kind of shady to me, or are they just kind of a person?
I mean, she
I'm probably
She is
the
an
least shady person here.
she is an Eladrin, which you are pretty used to seeing around here, but she is not one you recognize, which is a bit strange, but nothing about her particularly says watch out or shady character.
Okay, I'll just keep her features in mind for later.
Okie dokie. You're not barking at me now. Oh, I love your little blip tongue. There's a doggy here now.
Oh, hey, dog. I'm gonna wait until the person that's following the couple actually goes inside, and I'm gonna cast message at her, making sure she doesn't see me cast message.
Okay, and what do you say?
You know, it's considered rude to follow people.
So you hear that in your head
I
from an
see
unknown
anyone
voice.
Do I see anyone that looks like they might have said something to me? Or be watching me?
You can roll a perception check to see if you noticed Pockets' character on your way in, but at the current moment, you don't notice anyone paying attention to you.
Alright, and I'm gonna guide myself.
I specifically said
21.
waiting until she went inside, so that's
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just seeing if she would notice that you had even paid her any attention, not necessarily that she would
Yeah.
know it was you.
Right.
21 total.
You would have noticed that the centaur exiting the tavern had glanced from the couple to you, but that's pretty much it as far as you're aware. They just went on their way. Probably just because of the whole "I'm not following you" thing that you yelled out.
So, since I can't, let's see, you did message, right? So I can't reply to that, so
Yeah, you
I
can.
will. Can I?
Yes, you
Unless you-
absolutely can.
Yeah. It's part of the
Okay,
spell.
cool. Alright. I'm honestly not following them back on purpose. Not that it's really any of your beeswax, but whatever. I'm the least rude person here. Bye.
Carrie's gone into full teenager mode. Whatever, bye. I love it. Alright.
So, Kelmorn is back in the room.
Kelmorn is in his room. Jalen, what would you have done after exiting the couple's room?
Oh, gone back to my room.
Okay. Do you follow? You exit your room. You see Valkyrie coming back up the stairs to the residential area of the inn. You don't see signs of the others. It's safe to assume they're in their rooms.
Alright.
I'll see to follow and be like, I think we need to have like a group meeting.
Alright.
Do you know
I'm like
where the guys
utterly
are?
confused.
Do you know where the guys are?
I just came out of my room, no.
Kelmorn, you'd be about halfway through the book by now.
Alright, so I will message Kelmorn and then I will message Jalen, like, we need to have a group meeting. Can you come to my room?
Kelmorn lost in his train of thought will instantly say, "What the hell is the butter churner?" Oh, I'm sorry, Gary. Yes, I'll be there.
The look on Heidi's face says it all. Cookie's over there dying. Jalen, you received the same message.
Keep in mind, I made a character that was not interested in anything like that at all. This is all because of an item the DM gave me.
This is because of a quest that...
Responsibility off of yourself.
Absolutely.
This is a quest that you went after. I rolled on a table of books for it to be, and it came up as the freaking...
Who put that on the table? Who put that on the table?
I found that table on Pinterest, alright? Do not blame me for these shenanigans.
It is all on you.
Butter churner. Anyways, you all meet up in Heidi and Valkyrie's room.
Is the couple in their room?
Yes.
Now, did they notice Valkyrie coming up to the same floor?
They went into the room beforehand, but Valkyrie had already told them that she was staying here.
Okay.
And being in the room next to theirs, Jalen, you would have heard the door slam when they got back.
So, guys, I did a thing.
Is this a good thing or a apocalypse type thing?
I heard
What
a
takes?
Apocalypse end of the world type thing. I mean, to be fair, you could do that.
Not.
So.
I hope not.
Well, I'm sure you could. I'm not saying that you would mean it, but
I don't know if I should be offended or not. But anyway.
real quick, guys.
Okay.
So I followed that couple, and I got tired of waiting for them to do something, so I just went and sat down at their table and I talked to them.
Kind of the opposite.
I-
What I heard you do? But what'd you learn? What'd you find out?
So it's a whole like love situation. He's like kind of royalty, and his brother's sick, and it sounds like he's sick with something like my mom thing, which is really kind of weird. But they want him to go back and rule and marry his sister-in-law because the girl he likes, the one that's here with him, is like a commoner and they don't approve of her, and that's really bitchy and mean. He's kind of bitchy and mean, but I don't think he's a bad guy. But he did say something about his dad and necromancy because I thought, well, I told him that we were waiting for our friend, and I said maybe our friend that's coming could maybe help because, you know, the blood magic thing. And that's when he kind of got a little bit freaked out. And so now he's mad. Because he said he had enough necromancy stuff with his dad. I don't know.
He's mad at you.
Well, I think he's more mad at the situation. But I think the whole necromancy thing kind of freaked him out. But I don't really know why. I told him that ours is like helpful, but he wouldn't really listen.
Can we go back to Necromancy?
Yeah, I need a timeout real quick because
He's I'm blood magic, but he says he's had enough necromancy shit.
wait.
Well, you see.
But I'm okay. Out of character, I'm missing something. The person that the blood magic person you're supposed to meet up with.
The Kenku, the traveling Kenku who took everybody's blood.
Right, who has the mixture of my blood and Edmund's blood, who's gonna make a weird Camorn werewolf.
Oh,
The one
that
that
guy.
introduced me to you guys.
He's coming over to assist in trying to figure out how to reverse engineer the life transference magic. Because he technically knows blood magic since he knows blood tracking with the vials that he took.
And again, not all necromancy is bad, it's only how you use it.
But he wouldn't listen on that, so I guess he's had some bad experiences.
Yeah, me too.
So, but I don't
And
think
Jalen was perfectly fine with me raising an undead army, so I don't know why he won't be okay with it.
Was not fine. Was far from fine.
I mean, I don't know, but I feel really bad for her because she seems really nice. I mean, he doesn't seem horrible to be fair, but
So should we
kind of
force our help?
close-minded.
Should we force our help on them?
I kind of, sort of, I think that's why he's probably mad, because I kind of tried to, like, say that we could maybe help, but he doesn't seem to think we have, like, any talent or abilities or whatever. Like I said, I think he's kind of stuck up, but I guess being royalty will maybe do that. But I know a lot of royalty, and they're not all stuck up.
Well, let's just go over to their room and showcase our abilities. Maybe they'll change.
Maybe we should give them a little time to calm down.
Camorn stands up.
They're gonna be here for a while because they, the anti-tracking thing, that's here. They're taking advantage of that. So I don't think they'll be leaving anytime soon.
Well, if they got upset with you, they might get another in. If they know that you're here, do they know that you're here?
Yeah. I don't think they care all that much.
The amount of face palming from Jalen.
It's not like we don't have other things to do.
That's true.
So-
If some people need help and need knowledge, we should provide. I need to at least attempt. Let me attempt if I could.
Sure. I mean, if you want to, you can go try.
Okay.
I mean, I thought I was being really super sweet. I cast Zone of Truth and I purposely failed it so that they knew I wasn't lying.
Well, to be fair, the rest of the world is not as super sweet as you, so to find somebody as super sweet as you in their current predicament there, they probably have their guard up. So you make somebody in who is as rotten to the core as me, that's more their speed.
You became scary. Don't do anything scary.
Oh no, I can't do anything scary anymore. I used all that up in Jalen's room.
If you start talking to them about butter churns and stuff, they might get scared. I don't think they're like into that kind of stuff. And I don't even know what that is, but I don't get the feeling that that's their cup of tea.
What?
I don't want to know.
It's translating. Just don't worry about it. I'll have a copy ready for you all when you want. There's even a section on tentacles.
I'm in.
Pocket, since you don't know, Jalen's girlfriend is a beautiful woman that was cursed to be part octopus. I put quotes.
Have you put a ring on it?
I can change my status.
It's complicated.
Sounds very complicated.
Someone will knock on their door.
Okie
Well, I
dokie.
mean, don't you want to find out what I found in their room first?
Oh, absolutely. I always am needing some more inspiration and knowledge.
So I don't know how long they're going to be here because when I went into their room, I found an entry in her diary that she was starting to write that the Verton Mirror was coming to find them. was tracking them, and they're not the only family that's tracking them down. So they seem very worried about being found soon.
Does that name ring a bell to me at all?
Go ahead and roll a
Yes,
history check.
something.
Anyone who
What
wants
is
to can
that?
roll a history check.
History check. Okay.
Guide myself, and I will also get Kilmorn.
Guidance.
I rolled a 3 on my guidance, and
How
3.
hold on. Let me role play this correctly.
Oh, I got a 9, so I know jack shit.
I think that was in my book.
You
Something about a sexual position?
almost made Teddy spit. Nat
I mean, I
ones
didn't
are
read it.
fun.
I am pretty certain that's a whole thing. It's like a chapter on that. So
Your
that
book-
part that's after them must be a little bit even more freaky.
Maybe
What
you should
did
take
you-
the book with.
Cookie, what did you get?
A 15.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a 1.
In your we all figured. Brilliant role playing of a nat 1 there. Cookie, the name does sound familiar to you. It is one of the noble families from Solheim. You haven't been there, you haven't met them, but you've heard of them. And you've heard of them only because you've heard rumors that the woman of the household had an affair with a drow.
Oh. Gossipy rumors. Got it.
Yep.
That definitely gets around the villages. So I relay that lovely tad tidbit on the gossip to them.
I'm still pretty sure it's a sexual position.
I mean, it could be. I'm not quite versed on those, but
I'm not either. Alright, let's go talk to him.
to what? Figure out their sexual position or something?
I mean, our
If
audience
we're not
wants to know.
sure. If we're not sure, let's leave that out of the conversation to start with, at least. That's probably
I agree.
And clearly, don't mention blood magic because that apparently set them off from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Oh, good God, I'm crying. All right.
But
And you might want to do that disguise thingy-mabobber
Nah.
because they've seen your face already.
Not mine.
no,
Not you.
only Kiri.
Yeah, I'm pointing to Kiri.
No.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go talk to him. I mean, you guys can come too, but... But wait a minute. Carrie, you went to go talk to him who was watching your back. Huh?
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
Weren't we all supposed to stick together? Okay.
I had no
You-
idea this was going
Jim
on.
here. I didn't know where anybody else is, and so I just took a chance, and I told him, I was like, oh, sometimes you just have to say, what the fuck, and just go for it, and so that's what I did. I just had a feeling that I should talk to them.
And
I watched them for a while.
I understand that, and you are, of course, you are your own woman. You can do whatever you wish, you know. But I would just, we don't know everybody else in this town.
Waited, but
I mean, it turned out okay, so why worry about it? Just maybe in the future.
yeah, do it again, or if I do, I will at least let you guys know. I will message you or something.
That'd be nice. I go knock on their door.
Okay.
Wait, are we all going over there? Like,
Kelmorn is, Kyrie is not.
Give them space, but you can yell if you think that I could be helpful, and I'll come over then. But I think if they see me, I think she's cool with me, but I think if he sees me, he'll just like freak out again, and like, so I don't want to get him fired up before you get a chance to say anything. So
I'll stay with Kiri. I don't want them to see me just yet.
Alright. Tifala, are you staying or going?
You should go.
Go.
Alright. The gnomes go together.
I'll use a
Alright.
bomb if I have to bring him back.
I'll give him a flower. I'll give him a flower for my hair and say, give this to her though, because I think she's very nice. Oh, but at first I thought maybe I was asking for like a group sex thing, so maybe make it clear right away that that's not what you're going for.
See, it all ties in together.
Oh, goodness.
I mean, the first thing when I introduced myself, she was like, oh, we're not into that. And I'm like, wow.
No, you came over, sat down next to her, and was like, hey, so I noticed you guys, and I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, but to me, it was just like normal conversation. So I,
Maybe they get asked a lot.
that could be. But just so you know, they're kind of sensitive about that.
As such, they have a sexual position hunting them.
It's a cute little puppy. That's Heidi's familiar. You go and knock on the door. There's a pause. There was some discussion before you knocked on the door, but then there's a pause. The door opens, you see the gentleman standing there, his calm demeanor and proper posture returned. Can I help you
Good
two?
evening, sir. I am Kelmorn from Gnome Land Security. I understand that our representative reached out to you to see if you needed aid. However, she maybe ruffled a little feather, so I want to see what I can do and also offer, so you know
Did
that
you
we're
just-
actually serious and quite powerful.
You're serious and powerful with a name like Gnome Land Security?
I mean, I am the champion of Ioun.
And the best you could come up with was Gnome Land Security.
Well, I've got a crazy gnome here and a formerly crazy gnome here. It seemed to fit.
Wait. Since when was I crazy?
Since you have a bunch of dolls that you like to set up.
They come in handy.
Anyway, you seemed to be in distress. And sometimes a helping hand is all people need.
Well, currently I'm in distress because I had a woman come sit down next to my wife, start talking of blood magic, and now I have Gnome Land Security talking to me about being a crazy gnome and a formerly crazy gnome. I'm quite concerned why we're garnering this attention in the first place.
Well, you see, that's something that we can teach you. Because obviously you did garner this attention, so we can teach you a couple skills to keep you on the low if that's where you need to be.
He kind of eyes you up and down for a moment and looks over at Tifala. Nothing about her strikes me as subtle. Or you, for that matter.
No, we're not.
You have bonds, alright? You're not...
She
You
may
can't
not be
see them
subtle.
very well.
However, I may
Out
assume
spirit.
to be just a normal gnome dressed in just clothes, but you would find me actually pretty well armed right now.
Pretty indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And we do have an expert archer. And elf, of course. You guys have that. You know, it's one stereotype that seems to hold true, I guess.
That's racist.
Oh, it
Do
is,
you make a
absolutely,
habit?
but-
Do you make a habit of going around meddling in other people's affairs? Are you trying to get a paycheck because I come from money?
I'm trying to learn.
What are you trying to learn? What do you get out of this
I'll-
little exchange?
Well, there was some problems with some. Obviously, you have some hatred with some necromancy, which one of our party definitely does share that same aversion.
I
And
imagine
we have
most
been-
should.
Well, most should absolutely. Most necromancy is extremely, extremely evil and counterproductive to the cycle of life.
Did you know, I discovered when I came here, they have a paid necromancy position here in the city. Like, there's a paid necromancer. Like, they abide by it.
I do see. It depends on what they are allowed to do. However, I do see the wisdom of having one that does not create undead as a security, because who else best to identify necromancy than someone who's intimately familiar with it? If they are being watched and protocols are in place, it would make sense, because then you would have somebody who's not ignorant protecting against it.
Roll a persuasion check.
Sort of like firefighters, they will set controlled fires to stop a blaze.
Roll a persuasion check.
23.
Very nice. Very well. We can discuss things.
Sure. Do you want to just do it in the morning? It's been kind of a stressful night for you. Or you can, if you're still up, we can do it tonight. Whatever's more convenient for you.
Let's get this over with so I don't have this hanging over my head.
Oh, very well. Follow me.
And he'll walk out with you. The woman will scamper behind.
Alright. To follow, would you open the door so they can inspect it and make sure everything's on the up and up? I just want to make sure that you feel safe.
Sure, let me hop up there real quick.
Do you need a boost?
So are you taking them to Heidi's room? Or...
Where everybody's at, yes.
Okay.
And welcome to the temporary headquarters of Land Security. I say as we enter.
I vote we change the name.
We haven't changed the name yet.
I vote we change the name.
Just you.
Hello. So, that is the elf ranger you mentioned. That is the one I've already met.
I am Gaymer.
I am Roderick. This is Anastasia.
What a pretty name.
Isn't it lovely? And you see him kind of glance over with a very, like, affectionate, endearing look in his eyes, and she just kind of gets sheepish and flustered.
So, Carrie here is actually our best people person. Carrie, if you wouldn't mind, continue on and seeing how they have acquiesced to our help.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. I'm glad you were able to talk to them, Kelmar. So what in particular would you guys like us to help you with? Like, are you trying to hide? Are you trying to get away? Are you trying to persuade them to do what you want? Like, what's your ultimate?
We are trying to simply
Like,
hide and get away as far away as possible. So hopefully they'll just leave us alone. The problem is I also have to hide from my father. Not because of any noble reason, simply that he's trying to push his own goals onto me, shall we say.
You mean
And
the
he is-
crown? Or is this something else?
No, no, he is no noble. It's very hypocritical of my mother, but my father was just some drow that swooned her, I suppose. She had an affair, and now he's trying to get me to follow in his footsteps. They're trying to get me to follow in theirs, and I just want to exist with the woman I love.
So your father is a drow.
Yes. Thankfully, I didn't get his pigmentation.
Jalen has a severe problem with drow. Jalen knows a lot about drow, so maybe if you tell him some more detail, he might have some ideas.
Out of character, real quick, we kind of resolved that too. I just don't like that drow necromancer.
Oh, okay.
We can say I'm untrusting of drow, but not the hatred that I hit was for that one person.
Okay.
Meanwhile, during that is like, oh wait, that rumor's true. That whole gossip.
So what does your dad specifically want from you? Because, like I mentioned, that there are people after us, and drow happen to be part of that picture also.
He's trying to get me to follow his studies, something of which I have no interest in.
Just a shot in the dark. But
How about before I tell you any more, since I've shared an awful lot with a group of strangers referring to themselves as Nomaland Security, one of which has already talked of blood magic, care to share a bit about yourselves? About this cult hunting you, about who's hunting the rest of you, since you said that's not the only ones?
well, there's like warrants out where wanted posters. Old Kelmorn was. New Kelmorn's not.
Gilmore too.
Oh, Calmorn was. Yeah, he was pretty bad.
I take it you went through some kind of... So you went through some kind of metamorphosis then?
You could say that. You would be wrong, but you could say that.
And what exactly did old Calmorn do that made him wanted?
Oh, mass murder, drove people insane.
Very personal to somebody else.
And you called me crazy.
Yes, I was also about to raise. Let's not go there. It was getting more people to follow the teachings of Tharizdun and
Tharizdun?
as we know it. Yes.
That's about as bad as my father!
Yes, I was. Was.
Jeff.
Am I communicating this properly, or is there a different way to say the word was?
There's
Yeah,
not,
that was with
but...
Ioun.
Yes.
He's a champion of Ioun now.
And you
Your dad
witnessed
is
this
scary.
transformation?
Yep.
Well, I do have her chosen weapon. I
That's-
do carry her holy symbol.
You commune with her too.
Alright.
I do.
Alright.
Hey, maybe you could ask her something for them.
I possibly could. But you don't get into this adventuring life without, committing a few crimes. Then you find your way.
And you, Elf Ranger, what brought you to this interesting group?
Oh, he's Mr. Edgewood.
I asked him, not you.
Fair
People
enough.
can speak for themselves.
Oh, absolutely they can.
I'm sorry, what was the question again? No, things were cutting out. I really I didn't-
Basically,
cutting out.
basically, what's your story? Is just asked what brought you to this weird group.
Revenge. My whole tribe was wiped out by a drow necromancer, and so I've been chasing him ever since. And I ran across these guys and been stuck here ever since. Good kind of stuck.
Perhaps we can make a deal after all. At this point, I'm pretty sure that the drow necromancer you speak of is my father.
Is he like a follower of like Cyric by chance?
That he is.
Told you we had stuff in common.
They'll just give you a look of like, really? Was that necessary?
No land security. Cracks another case.
Necessary.
So, I'm sure Jalen has a million questions about your home, where he's at, security measures, so on and so forth. So,
I only have one question.
Jalen?
Where's he at?
He travels around much, so I don't know his exact location, but as I said, he's trying to get me to study under him, so I could help you set up a trap.
I like that. But I'm assuming that you want us to make sure that your lady love is safely away before we make you bait.
I would like you to assist us in learning how to lay low. Someone with so many wanted posters that's being able to avoid arrest must be at least somewhat decent at it, as well as someone being hunted by a cult and a sole survivor. And of course,
I have
keep
an
her
idea.
safe.
I have a great idea. Why don't you stay in this room? We'll stay in a large common room for now. Tomorrow I have to go to the library to return these books. I'm very glad that you are not part of these books, like I originally thought.
He just gives you a
And I have to-
confused look.
You don't want to know, trust me. And I should be back by midday tomorrow.
At this
And
point, the
hopefully
woman.
we have some ideas.
At this point, the woman
However-
chimes up. I actually might know where we can set up the trap.
Oh, very interesting. I will need
Just-
some gold, though.
Can I do an
Of
insight
course.
check
On which one?
on Roderick
Yes.
to see if he's telling the truth? 22.
At every mention of necromancy, Drow, and his father, he continuously gets a disdainful look on his face. Just a brief glance in the eyes, a lift of the nose. He very clearly has no love, no, like, loyalty or anything to his father.
Okay, so I'm gonna do some plans on how to keep you all safe and hidden. Let me focus on that. If you guys want to focus on the trap, Yeah, I think we can do that.
Just curiosity, do either of you guys have any magic ability?
I mean, I can do a little bit, but nothing too fancy.
I will need a good bit of gold for my idea to help you all. Any left over, I will return to you. So,
And how much do you want?
give me like 20,000 to start, and hopefully that I will not even need half of that.
Excuse me?
I am trying to purchase certain items for you.
I may be of noble family, but I did not bring that much with me.
Okay, well, give me 75% of what you brought, and hopefully that will be enough. And again, any excess will be returned to you immediately. You can even come with me as I try to purchase the items if you'd like.
What items are you trying to purchase at such a high price point?
I would like to. I have a contact who owes me a favor. I'm using that favor, but hopefully that will open up some dialogue and maybe get you something that will protect you from the scrying eye. And also another item that might change your outward appearance.
Are they tracking you by blood magic, or just how? Are they just good trackers, or tracking you magically, or do you even know?
As far as I know, my mother has hired a scryer. My father's a necromancer, so for all I know, he is doing blood tracking.
Would they have for blood? Anastasia's?
I don't believe he would have Anastasia's, but he would most likely have mine.
Well, we will look into that as well. How to break that. So,
Well, if the trap succeeds and you get rid of him for me, that won't be a problem.
that's true. However, you never know how many followers he has that might want to,
Well,
you know.
I mean, I can tell you he's got a lot,
So,
and has for a long time.
I think we should place the orders in, and then if you don't need it, you can always sell the items.
Fine. And he goes over to the locked cabinet, the drawer that was locked earlier. He opens it up, and you see there's 3 pouches in there. He grabs 2 of them and tosses them over to Kelmorn.
Apparently we're back to his room.
Yeah, I would assume you would go follow him. Because it's not like he would have brought all his money over to your guys' room. Like, he's not stupid.
I'm gonna go with Kate just for a second. But yeah, Kelmorn's gonna be writing out an idea. I'm taking this time to basically come up with the idea of a hat of disguise and amulet of proof versus detection, stuff like that. So,
Okie dokie.
alright. Be right back.
Well, Kelmorn gets the money from him. Anastasia will look to the rest of you. There was an abandoned hut on our way into the city. That would probably be the best place to set a trap where you're not gonna get anyone caught in the crossfire, and where there's least likely to be dead people around for his father to do what he does. I don't know how it works. I don't know if he needs dead people around or if he can make them show up, but I mean, there's a funeral like place in the city. So you know.
That's probably a really smart idea.
Roderick, tell me about your mother.
My mother,
She gets in the way.
my mother is fiercely loyal to her country. She will not admit to having relations with this necromancer. Which means she cannot publicly do anything to stop. At the
She
moment,
still love him?
I do not even know if that woman knows what love is, with what she's trying to force me into.
So she's not really like an ally or trustworthy.
No, I would consider her neither friend nor foe.
Okay.
She is simply obsessed with her country and doing what's best for it. Family be damned.
You wouldn't be traveling with him?
What was that?
She wouldn't be traveling with him?
No, she has to stay in the country. She hasn't left in a long time. The only reason she was able to have the affair centuries ago was because the drow showed up to her.
So the brother, who's his father?
That would be the king.
And the king knows the whole situation?
He's aware of the affair, but again, they cannot publicly acknowledge that any of it happened.
Sure. And how does he stand in this whole situation?
He's completely smitten with her. He will do anything she says.
Okay. She doesn't travel, but does he?
No, they seldom ever leave the country, unless they're invited to some gala or something. And then they have to travel with a dozen guards at least. You'd know if they were around.
So your father, has he always known about you?
As far as I'm aware, I mean, I've received secret letters from him since I was young. Anytime my mother would find them, she'd burn them. Didn't want any evidence.
What's he hoping to get from you?
He wants me to follow in his footsteps. Says that I have great potential.
Do you have magic ability?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Do an insight on that because I've searched the room. I've seen the magic components and I've seen the bird skull.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
17.
He seems pretty genuine. Tired, but genuine.
So you mentioned that he's like into Cyric and all that whole thing.
He explains his whole plans to me in these letters. He explains his goals, his dreams, his desires, wanting me to follow in his stead so we can rule together as father and son, and blah, blah, blah.
Do you have? Well, you said your mother burned the letters.
Anytime
Do you-
she'd find them.
Do you have any of them on you?
No, I didn't really care to bring them. Is there any information in particular you want to know about his plans?
Well, the more we know, the better.
Well, he is a devout follower of Cyric who plans to find a way to bring Cyric to the material realm to essentially make my father a demigod alongside Cyric, so they can have power and their own domains in the material plane, and my father wishes to make the material plane into a new second Shadowfell.
Well, clearly that's not a cool plan.
Cool is an understatement.
And you really have no interest in following along with any of that?
No, that's the words of a madman. I do not care if he is my father. I do not care for that he cares for me, and like my mother, I would not want to go down that path. All I want is to be with the woman I love.
What if he offered you that in exchange for following what he wants?
Then I would not just be with the woman I love. I'm not trying to live some grandiose life. I am not trying to have some Shadowfell. Do you think that there's room for love and marriage and happy relationships if this were a second Shadowfell? I am no fool.
Okay, good. I'm just glad to hear you confirm that, because sometimes, like, you know, when things are offered that are close to your heart, it can be hard to, you know, say no, or you get pulled into something because you're promised something you want and you're not. You know, people aren't always smart enough to realize that things like that are
He
usually
kind of-
a trap.
He kind of sits
You know?
back a bit. You're speaking of your godmother at this point, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm pretty sure it was your father that had to do with what corrupted her.
If that is the case, then I am deeply, deeply sorry for my father's actions.
Well, you know, I need to not be involved with him. I have to be as far away as I can from him, but I want to help you.
His cult is the one hunting you, isn't it?
Yep.
For a world so large, it's so strange that we ran into each other here.
Well, Kelmore would probably say Ayun had something to do with it. I don't know. But either way, they've been hunting me since before I was even born. I've
If
been
I may,
fortunate enough to not get caught yet.
If I may ask, how old are you?
They've been hunting me for a long time.
Well, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't too long after my mother and the drow had an affair that murmurs of cult activity began seeping through Teltadorae. Only a few years. So, if you happen to have been born a few years after myself, then it almost definitely is him, and it may very well have to do with him not getting his way.
It would be very, very bad if he gets his way.
How much do you know of Cyric?
I know he's the god of lies. Mad god. definitely
why?
not good for anyone.
And why do you think that someone would see the god of lies as the most powerful deity?
I mean, I think you'd have to be insane to think that, but
That would be Sarah's doing, like your friend had. I believe it is from being deceived far too much for far too long from people you trusted. Trust is what Cyric preys off of. You are clearly a very trusting and honest person.
I think
Which,
it takes pieces away from your soul to be otherwise. Just a little bit here and there. It's kind of like having a wound that just like drips, a drop of blood or two at a time. After a while, you're just really super drained and it kills you eventually. And it weakens you the whole time.
you
I
know,
don't
it's
want to be that way. Mistrusting everyone. I mean, I kind of have to an extent, but I also have a pretty good gut instinct of people. In the midst of this, I'm going to cast message to Kelmar and ask, should I tell him the truth?
Calmorn will reply. We're putting a lot of our eggs in one basket. I don't know if he will be turned, or if he's not turned, he could be tortured, and his priority is his love, not the world's safety.
That's kind of what I'm afraid of. On the other hand, I also wanted to realize that there would be some real bad repercussions for everybody if he gave in. I don't know,
And
maybe
we're
I'll
gonna-
think on it.
we're gonna put a
That's
pin in
your
that.
judgment.
We're gonna put a pin in that for a moment. And switch over to pockets. What does your character like to do at night after they've had their supper, they've done their studies, late into the night? Do they stay up? Does she go to bed early?
It really depends on the type of day she's had.
A relatively quiet and easy one today.
She probably is asleep.
Then it is while you're sleeping that there is a banging on your door abruptly. They don't wait for you to answer as they burst in. Miss, I'm sorry to wake you, but we are in dire needs of your assistance. It is one of the servants. How do you respond? Are we having connection issues?
I can hear you.
I'm not hearing Pockets say anything, though.
Yeah, I don't know if
I'm
anyone
wondering-
else can hear either.
I can hear.
Okay.
I think Pocket's having problems on their end.
apologize. My internet died.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. So she's probably asleep by now. She's not much of a night owl.
I was saying that there was an abrupt banging on your door that wakes you from your slumber. One of the servants bursts in. Miss, I'm sorry to wake you, but we are in dire need of your skills.
Oh. And what skills would those be? My magic or my intelligence?
Well, probably both, to be honest. One of the noble family has been murdered.
Oh. I'll be right there. And she will stand up. You can tell me where?
Oh, it's the they were, and you see them kind of stammering. It was the youngest son at the brothel again.
The brothel. Got it. Alrighty. And who notified you?
One of the town's guard. They're at the door waiting.
Alrighty. I'll be right there. She's gonna stand up. Kind of in my nightgown, so you can tell them to give me a couple minutes.
And they scurry off.
And I'll close the door and get changed into my work attire again. Well, eventful, I guess. And afterwards, she's gonna dash all the way to the door, with, the dash action having 40 feet of movement. That's 80 feet.
Yeah, it doesn't take you much time at all to, even with your manner, to get to the front door and meet up with the guard.
I was told that she's gonna readjust her shirt. I was told there was somebody that, got on the wrong end of a dagger.
Yes, the youngest son of the Cartagan family, I'm afraid.
That is quite unfortunate. Let's head there now.
And he'll lead you there. It is at this point that the rest of you can hear a bit of a... It's getting louder outside despite it being night, and not the usual, like, drunken tavern louder. Like, there's a crowd gathering kind of louder.
Oh no, they found me.
It's not always about us, Kelmorn. Thank goodness.
Pockets.
Yeah, I normally think that, but...
Pockets, you are led to the brothel, which is across from the Rosewood Respite.
Ah, sounds like we can hear it. Alright.
This one. Got it.
Take a peek out the window, see what's going on.
I'm gonna take a look at the scene, once we get to the scene inside the brothel, obviously.
Jalen, go ahead and do a perception check. You're led in, and you see, as you go into the brothel, you see the women are kind of all huddled together, in the main foyer, the ladies of the night, and they all seem quite distraught. One is kind of sobbing. There's some, like, blood on her gown. And you see one of the guard is trying to talk to her, but she's just so sobbing and distraught that she's not getting much out. You're led past that into one of the brothel rooms where you see the room is in shambles, as if a fight had taken place. And you know the youngest son of the Cartagan family was training to be one of the guard captains. This would not have been an easy fight, even with him being indisposed. But
Interesting.
there's blood splatter in a few places. Across the wall, across the bed. So loud. Of course you couldn't resist, Cookie.
That was not me. That was not me this time.
Come on, it was perfect timing.
And there is the body of the youngest Carthagen son, sprawled upon the floor. What was your perception roll, Jalen?
26.
You see that a crowd is gathered outside of the large building across the street, and they're murmuring amongst themselves. You see 3 guards standing outside the door. You catch a pale centaur being led into the building.
Would I be accustomed to a centaur walking out the street in this place?
I mean, in the Feywild, they're fairly commonplace. In the material plane, not so much.
No, because I missed last session. Like, would I have noticed where I'm at? Like, would a centaur seem to be out of place in this place that I'm at now?
A little bit. The only centaurs you would have noticed going through town before were more in the, like, upper sections of the city. It seemed like it was specifically one family of centaurs.
So I wouldn't be like, holy crap, there's a centaur.
Not necessarily. It would be odd that they would be in this section of the city, but it wouldn't be odd to see a centaur altogether after having seen them in a couple places in the city.
Okay.
Apologies, my internet died again. So where
It's
is the
okay.
body? Is it on the bed, on the floor?
It's sprawled out across the floor.
Face on the floor or upwards?
Facing the floor.
Okay, well first thing I'm gonna take my staff and I'm gonna use the moon part to cover it with a blanket because I don't want to see that. And then I'm gonna flip the body over with the blanket covering it so I can do what I do. But first I would like
Okay.
to roll investigation to see stuff like
So it would be investigation for stuff around the room. It would be a medicine check for anything on the body.
yeah, I'll do the investigation then the medicine.
Okay. The woman is standing next to you looking outside the window, Jalen. Anastasia.
I got a 16 on my investigation check.
Okay. You would realize that the blood splatter on the wall was most likely from a slash that happened during the combat, and it was some spray. There's also a little section that's missing, which is most likely the blood that the woman that you saw earlier had on her.
Okay,
So
so
she
the
was-
woman is innocent from my perspective right now. And then I'm gonna do a medicine check on the guy.
Okay.
Which is a 4.
This guy is pretty slashed up. It was definitely a fight. It's hard to say exactly which wound was the fatal wound at this point. There's a lot of blood, and it's still, a very dirty scene right now. You'd have to clean it up to really get an idea.
Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna be talking to the guard. Unfortunately, I can't tell who or what what was the final, cut, but I can tell you that it is whatever wound caused that blood splatter. Because that's a lot of blood.
All right, noted. Now, I personally am not too familiar with how you do your thing. Do you tend to do it on the scene when you make them talk, or do we need to take them elsewhere for that?
Well, I would prefer just just the guards and not the ladies of the night, because it can be quite gruesome for some people.
All right. We'll instruct no one to enter the room while you are doing this. Hello, Sixbane. Thank you for the raid. You're raiding at quite an interesting time. You brought friends. Red, thank you. We are in the midst of a fun little D&D session that has gone from them discovering the son of a cult leader that is trying to run from the cult leader to a murder in a brothel. We're not talking about the butter churner. But hello, for those that do not know, I am Damien the DM. I do lots of D&D. It is an entirely homebrew campaign. We have a lot of fun here. We have some serious roleplay moments, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I'm stuck in this voice right now because I've been doing it for one of the characters. You gotta love brothels and murder in that order. Absolutely, Hedron Ferry, and I love your name. And I apologize if I said it wrong. But, yes, I am Damien the DM. We have Nightsfall, who also streams some D&D, if that is your cup of tea. The others do not stream, but they are lovely people who are wonderful role players. I also sometimes do scary games. The first person to ever say it right the first time. Huzzah! Perhaps the accent is helping. Alright. So, the god closes the door. One remains inside. One remains on the outside while you go to do your thing. Jalen, you've seen the hubbub going on. Nightsfall, Tafala, Valkyrie, what are you guys up to at this point?
Well, I'm thinking that there's a bunch of people with pitchforks and torches that are coming to skewer my poor little innocent gnome. So he's gonna go outside and see what the hubbub's about.
Alright. Tafala, Valkyrie?
Oh, I'm gonna go with.
Well, we can either sit here and do nothing, or we can go investigate, because obviously, random happenstance ain't so random.
Yeah, coincidence is bullshit.
Coincidence is a dirty, dirty girl, and her sister is, I don't know, I lost it.
Shit.
Well, if you figure out what's going on over there, please do tell us in the morning, but we are quite tired and will not be accompanying you. This is Roderick.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you should probably stay here where it's, less tracking on you, so.
When
Yes,
I'm upset,
exactly.
I will count how much money he gave me.
Okay. Okay.
I
You.
put my hellhound outside the door to guard.
Okay. Oh yes, and those that just came in, one of them has a pet hellhound, one of them has a pet pseudo dragon, one of them has a pet ferret, and one of them has a pet cat with wings.
Oh, that's
Except for me.
We'll get there, I'm sure.
I just joined, so it's not a big deal.
We'll find you one.
But here's the thing. Anything that you find, you can make it your pet. You just have to raise it.
Hey,
Let's go
wait,
find an egg.
I have a question.
Not that kind of race, not that kind of race, Cookie.
Where's Pit?
You guys left Pit with the horses back outside of the Feywild.
Yeah.
You were here for that.
Back to town. It was going back to town. He's safe.
Alright.
Yep.
Unless he
That's
starved
their
us.
goblin child that they adopted, by the way.
But
Did not,
abandoned.
did not abduct him.
No, no
Totally
abduction
abducted.
whatsoever. All legally binding.
We got permission.
We got
Sure.
permission to steal a child. Hey.
Okay.
Ain't that big, legit.
A goblin child at that. It's
Oh gosh, I love this group.
Somebody else had them drunk.
who?
You.
Don't listen to his lies.
Check the
Moving.
Bod. Check the bod.
Moving right along. Kelmorn, you get outside and you check the pouches. And you were handed 10,000 gold.
He'll never see that again.
Ew.
That's the old Kelmorn.
New
No,
Kelmore
that's New Kelmore as well.
Oh,
New
no.
Kelmore isn't, all goody two shoes.
10,000, yes, Darwin. 10,000. This was a nobleman.
So I go up to the crowd. What's going on?
None of your business, tiny man.
Hey. Don't be rude.
That's ISIS.
Start dancing, you be a tiny dancer.
This doesn't concern you.
And how do you know it doesn't concern us?
Are you a murderer?
Don't answer that.
Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
Kelmorn might just don't answer that.
Kelmore doesn't answer. Well, for a guide, you're rather flippant. We're just from over there. We could have heard anything. Have you ever heard of actually questioning people around the area? Is this your first day on the job, man?
Get out of my sight, tiny man.
No.
Oh, this is gonna get real bad real quick.
At
Please
which
don't be
point,
rude to the Kelmorn.
Rude first.
at which point he takes his javelin in both hands.
Don't be rude to the muscular person. He's really very
Flirting with the guard?
She flirts with everybody.
He's just doing his job, and you're not making it any easier for him.
He's
I
not making it
apologize on
easier for
behalf of
himself.
my friend. We're just trying
Thank
to
you, miss.
offer our assistance if you are in need of it. We do have some talents.
Are you detectives or something?
Something like that.
Kinda.
Homeland Security.
We have some really
Motherfucker!
some pretty good skills.
I vote to change her name.
Oh
Or I
god.
quit.
Oh god, I'm dying. Okay. Homeland Security?
They don't pay us enough.
You're not from around here.
No. But I mean, I really think there might be some stuff we could do to help. If someone
Yes.
is injured or hurt or there's some type of trouble, we're pretty good at fixing things and solving things. And we're kind of like a Scooby gang.
What on earth is a Scooby?
The gnome team.
Like,
Da, 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 da. You can make it help you.
turn.
Who are you gonna call?
You can't do everything yourself. I mean, no matter how big and strong you are and stuff. It's, you've got a job to do here. So maybe we can help.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
I mean, this dude was literally told to keep people out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will also guide myself just because.
I will
But
try to get out of his.
I
29.
rolled a 29 plus my
Nice.
guidance is a 4, so
Nice.
Wow.
33.
Goodness gracious. You are on fire.
Well, I have a plus 12 to persuasion. I mean, even if I roll crap, I'm gonna get fairly decent at it.
That
Well,
expertise, man. That expertise.
no one is permitted to enter at the moment. But we do have someone beginning an investigation, and perhaps they could use assistance.
See, now that was polite.
He just kind of gives you a sidelong
Kelmore.
glare.
I was polite until he was a douche. All I'm saying.
Just tone it down. It's okay. So, could you point us in the direction of the person that we might be able to assist?
When she comes out, you will most certainly be aware of her presence.
I would like to use my divine sense to
Okay.
know if there is any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay, you do so. And currently there's no such thing.
Well, I can tell you that as long as they're not under complete cover within 60 feet of this location right now, there are no celestial fiends or undead.
That is a neat trick.
I'm gonna let Velmar kind of wander around and look for any magic invisibility.
It's not a trick for those who are actually disciplined.
And
Pockets.
I'm also gonna have him smell to see if there's anything odd that he can smell.
Pockets.
Hmm?
Woot. Let's go ahead and continue with your area of expertise.
I'm going to I'm gonna cast my version of Speak with Dead, which is just a reskin of Stoker's
Mm-hmm.
because necromancy. Just anyway, I'm gonna. So in order to cast this spell, she's gonna take her staff and she's gonna kind of hold it there for a few seconds, and it's gonna start glowing this purple color. And she's gonna touch the staff to the dead guy, and she's gonna place it on the ground, and that's me casting it.
Okay. So you do so, and the corpse kind of lifts up from the torso, its head kind of lolling to the side, its wounds oozing what little blood it has left from the movement. It's waiting for your questions.
Did you see the face of your killer?
The mask surrounded all but the eyes.
Could you describe the eyes? Or the mask?
Piercing purple eyes through a black moon mask.
Okay. Do you know who would want you dead?
Anyone who wishes a noble son's death.
Okay. Okay. Did you
Was it
happen to notice how tall they were?
tall, even for an elf. Taller than me.
Thank you. You can go back to your rest, and I'm gonna dispel the spell.
And it just kind of slumps and plops back into place with a thud. And you know the youngest son of the Cartagan is about 6'3".
Yeah, so he's pretty tall. Well, I'm gonna turn to the guard. Keep a lookout for somebody with piercing purple eyes and a black moon mask.
Well,
Should ask
that's...
how long ago he died.
That is certainly unsettling. And as far as how long ago, there is a witness who can attest to that.
Good point.
At this point... Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna walk out of the room and head towards the witness.
Okay. You exit the room, and the guard at the front door kind of glances through the window and opens the door. I believe she is done with the part she requested to be alone for. You may see if you can be of any assistance for the investigation. Should she turn you down, though, I will escort you out immediately. So you walk in?
Oh, I didn't while he was talking. I'm gonna let Kiri take the lead, though, even though she said BRB. Because Kilmore's definitely not in a good mood right now. Damn sizes, people.
So you guys enter. You guys enter, and you see Jalen. You recognize the centaur as the one you saw walking into the building. Is now walking over to one of the ladies of the night. And the guards seem to be giving her this, like, respectful space. Some of the ladies of the night seem to kind of, like, pull away a bit from the centaur. Anyone who's paying attention to them will notice it. Like, they kind of, like, little creeps them out a little bit.
I'll roll an insight on that.
Okay.
17.
While the centaur looks inherently innocent to you, maybe a bit creepy with being extremely pale in all black, but delicate features, she's carrying a staff, nothing about her says intimidating, yet some of these women of the night are not necessarily fearful, but at the very least wary of her or uncomfortable around her.
I will approach them, but if she starts to question before I get there, I'm not going to interrupt.
Okay. Jalen, Tufala, what are you guys doing? Are you just quiet observers? Or are you going to do...
Probably head over.
To the centaur or to the women of the night that are pulling away from the centaur?
The women of the night.
Okay.
Who's around me?
Well, Kelmorn and Tufala are going up to some of the women of the night. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that Kiri would be going over to the centaur since that's the one they were told. You guys were told to speak to. There's 3 guards standing outside the door. There's 2 within the door.
Misbehaving. You know what I mean? It's being naughty. Anyway, what's going on?
So you head over to the witness, Pockets. She is still crying, still distraught. The matron is trying to comfort her.
Okay. You seem
Hear me.
quite.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You seem quite disturbed by recent events. I understand it can be quite traumatizing, but the quicker we can catch this person, the quicker you can get back to your job at peace. I'm gonna try and calm her down with the persuasion roll.
All right. And Teddy, what were you gonna say?
I
just wanna know-
accidentally pressed the wrong thing.
It's okay.
Is there a lady of the night or a patron near me where I don't have to really move, but could just stay right there and just chat with somebody?
It seems if you stay on the outside of the door, it seems like the patrons had been escorted outside, not necessarily allowed to leave fully, but just outside of the brothel. Whereas the women in the night are all huddled together in the front room.
I rolled a 19.
All right.
So did I see the reaction of the girls? Did I see the girls' reaction to the centaur?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still outside the door though, right?
Yeah, you're standing at practically in the doorway, because the door was open to allow you guys to go in.
So there's like some of the girls are coming out, some of the patrons are coming out.
The patrons are coming out. The girls are staying in.
Okay. So one of the patrons are coming out. I want to ask about who's the centaur in there.
Well, don't you know, that's the grave talker.
And he kind of chorts as he says it.
Do I smell alcohol coming up this person's breath?
Oh, absolutely.
Grave talker.
Yeah. You ain't from around here, are you? That's a lot of people wanted to talk about for a hot bit.
So what does she do?
Exactly what it sounds like, mate.
Well, those women are.
And he burps in your face.
You can go.
With your 19, she begins to calm down enough to be able to talk to you. I guess that's true. Pockets?
I wouldn't lie in a moment like this. It's a very traumatic experience to have, I'm sure.
I just we were we hadn't even started yet, and then they just came in through the window, and then they started fighting, and then there was blood, and then you see her as she starts to talk about the blood, she gets a little bit paler.
I'll stop her there. That's more than enough information. You said they went through the window.
Yes, they just came right in. The windows are usually sealed, but for some reason this one had been open, and I don't know why. And he just came right in. I don't know how a fella that big just fits through a window, but he just came right in.
So, you said big. Was he round or was he, skinny?
Skinny, I guess. I mean, big as in he was quite tall. Really tall.
Yeah, height, when fitting through a window, doesn't really matter as much as width. You're gonna need time to process what happened to you, and time to, what I'm suggesting is see a therapist. That's probably best.
Oh, dang.
But no, it's a actual thing. It's really helpful for when you deal with the loss of
Yes.
life.
Yes, the meditations the clerics do. That might be the best.
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna lie to you, it's gonna be a bit difficult for a while because of what you saw, but with time, you'll be able to move on.
And she kind of winces at the word "move on" because right now she's just death is all on her is the only thing on her brain. So moving
And
on.
I realize that was a poor choice of words. But I will leave you to your uh I'm forgetting the words for your employer.
Matron.
Mother? Matron, yes. I'll leave you with your matron and the guards. And,
It is at this point that Kiri begins, accompanied by one of the guards, walking up to you, Pockets. So you see an Eldrin in. What season are you in currently?
Oh god, I can't remember what I picked. Um,
Because I know
I
you
think
had been in
probably-
winter for a little bit because of your mother.
yeah, I don't think I've changed. So
Okay.
and I said I would remember this person's features.
Yep. So you recognize her immediately as she's walking up to you.
And how can I help?
The guard chimes up. Apparently, she is with a group referred to as Gnomeland Security, and they can help with investigations.
I think we can help you. At least we'd like to offer.
Did we lose the Pockets again?
Wonderful internet.
Well, thankfully, internet won't be an issue once we're in person. As long as mine holds out, knock on wood.
Yeah, that's the thing. If yours goes up, then we're all up.
Good night.
Then we're just talking amongst ourselves.
Well, Calmorn will ask, was this room on the ground level?
You're asking just to the girls who were pulling away that you walked up to, or
Yeah.
no, she only served in that room, and she's up on the third floor.
Okay. Was there any broken glass, or was the window open?
Sorry,
I'm
being,
we figured.
so I'm gonna
I mean,
switch over.
no one heard any glass breaking, but the only one that was in the room was her and the gentleman.
Okay. Just
I'm gonna,
questions, Carrie,
I'm gonna turn over to. I was so my internet disconnected right when I was saying and how can you help, or how can I help you?
And then the guard introduced her. Apparently, she's with a group known as Gnomeland Security. What? Can you hear me, Pockets?
I think it happened again.
No! Not during the introduction! Well, continue, Kelmorn.
Well, when you're able to talk to this investigator, Carrie, and just those questions, then we should definitely check out outside. That's my 2 cents.
Tifala, what are you doing?
Probably trying to calm down the ladies.
Okay, and how are you trying to calm them down?
There we go. Should be good now. I hope not. I'm gonna be pissed. But
How are you trying to calm them down, Tifala?
psychotic dolls.
They're very relaxing.
Pull out like a little trinket that's got like a recording of like a soft song, a soft melody.
So you pull out the music box that you guys found?
No, no, bad, no, no. It's a small trinket that I didn't
Okay.
fiddle with. Because luckily, you know, tinkering.
All right. Pockets, are you with us?
I should be.
Okay. I'm calling out to his spirit and phasmophobia now.
Uh,
I could talk back.
So the guard introduces Kiri as apparently this woman is with a group called Gnomeland Security, and they wish to assist in the investigation.
Can I roll history to see if Nomeland Security is an actual thing, or...
Sure. You can roll to see if you've ever heard of it in this land.
$11?
11.
Well, you've never heard the Cartagan family refer to anything like that, but since they're a group of outsiders, maybe the material plane has something like that?
And they think they can be of assistance, yes?
Yes,
Well, I mean, I think that we can help.
In
Between-
what manner?
Well, it depends what you're needing, but all of us have different abilities and skills. I mean, it's up to you. We're just making an offer to assist. You don't have to take us up on it or anything. It's just we want to help where we can.
And Pockets, you do see that one of the gnomes in the group is now playing music from an odd little device that they're carrying.
Huh. Interesting. I'll consider it. How often do you see the dead?
Like way more than most normal people do.
I'm gonna lead them to the room. Now, mind you, I did flip the body and move a blanket, but I didn't touch anybody. So the only thing that touched it was my staff. I'm gonna open the door and
You started it. You started it. You started laughing first.
I have an excuse.
I was like, what are you drinking over there?
Not sponsored. Continuing. You, those of you that accompany the centaur are brought up to the third floor to the room with the body of a blonde-haired, elven nobleman with many gashes across him, sprawled
This is-
across the floor.
this is the youngest son of the DM. I forgot.
Cartagan family.
This is the youngest son of the Cartagan family. He's been struck down prematurely, and I need to know which one of these wounds was the one that did it.
Calmorn will first look at the window. Is the window open, closed, or is it broken?
It is open, completely.
Okay.
The lady of the night mentioned that it is strange that the window would be open.
I will attempt to do a medicine check.
Go for it.
Kiri, I could use some help here.
I will guide you.
Is there anything that you can do to inspire myself as well?
I mean, I can certainly do that as well. Just be like, go Kilmorn, go Kilmorn, go Kilmorn, go Kilmorn, go.
I'm definitely
These-
gonna need that.
Oh,
You have that happen right next to you, Pockets, as they go to examine this dead body.
And what's the your die now? Is it a 10 or?
For bardic inspiration.
Yep.
Hang on. It is a D8.
Alrighty, not great.
10.
10.
That's a 10.
It's a 10.
I mean, if you're within 30 feet and I can still see you, you can add 4.
Okay, that's a 14.
So, there are certainly some gashes that are deeper than others. There's 2 that it could be. One of which is a deep gash across the chest that goes from the lower left rib cage to the upper right shoulder. It's the largest gash on the body. But there's also a gash across the neck, which could very well have gone across one of the main arteries.
It's gonna be one of those two.
Well, you are skilled in medicine, I'll give you that.
Absolutely, top of my class.
Oh, talking out your ass.
Absolutely, top of my class.
I'm gonna look at, terrible with names. I'm gonna look towards Valkyrie, the one that did that little saw.
Cheer. Yeah.
Yeah. You're the, you're a bard, aren't you? I've heard of you. Read about your ways in, several of the books of magic.
As soon as he says, I heard of you, I'm instantly looking at him and my hand is getting
Her.
ready to call the hammer.
Female centaur. Her.
When
Oh, sorry.
I've heard of the type of magic that bards do. It's really interesting. Creative that you can do that with music and pictures.
Calmer will calm down now after hearing her words.
My dad was more into the music. I like to use my art, but it's kind of hard to like be very inspirational with piece of art when you're in a hurry, so I just kind of do what I can.
Fair enough. Well, it's interesting bunch, I can say, for now.
Probably
I will
one of
actually-
the positive terms that could be used to describe us.
I will actually request your assistance in this matter. It's rather... It's a strange case. And the target is, well, was a nobleman, so...
Let's make it a bit more challenging.
A lot of people want noblemen dead.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, a lot of them you can kind of understand why people would feel that way. But it doesn't make it right to just go and kill them.
This is true.
There's a lot of things that that I know that I am able to do to help, but for a lot of my abilities, it helps if I know in advance what would be helpful, so that I can make sure and have those things prepared.
You're good
And
at
I haven't
talking.
rested in a while.
You're good at talking to people, correct?
I try. People
Okay.
just are really rude and don't give a shit, but for the most part, I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at, I'm able to cast like a truth zone on people that makes it hard for them to lie around me.
That won't be necessary. I was gonna ask if you were good at questioning people.
Fair at it. Kelmorn's probably good at it too.
A bit.
And that would be. I'm gonna look over at the gnome. It would be, the gnome you're referring to, correct?
Yep.
Yes, I am Kelmorn Schleppen.
My name is Raylan.
To meet you.
Good to meet you.
Now,
Jalen, what are you doing while this is going on?
I think I was left outside, actually.
I mean, the door is open. It wasn't like shut on you or anything. Like you can see them interacting.
I'm trying to figure out exactly what.
You would have seen them when they went upstairs as well.
In the meantime, while they were doing all their things, I'm gonna say I was talking to people as they were leaving to try to ascertain what was going on,
Okay.
if they knew. I definitely would have been interested in talking to why the ladies drew back from the centaur.
Okay.
Only because I would think it's kind of odd that if a centaur is not uncommon in this place, and it's obviously, from what I've observed, kind of like a security type deal, I guess would be the best way I could probably describe it right now, is that why would these ladies withdraw from the centaur when they should have seen the centaur previously? So it just piqued my curiosity of why that reaction was happening.
Okay, so you joined Tefala over by the Ladies of the Night. Tefala is getting them to... This would be while you guys were going upstairs to the body and stuff, so...
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask while going up there. Is it just you two, or are there more of you?
In our group,
Yes, in your group.
there's more of us.
How many more?
Well, there's 4.
Alrighty. It's good to know.
Do we need like a pass?
Nope, I just needed to know how many people I'll be working with.
Well, there's 4 of us. And if we're working with you, then there's 5.
Do math, thank you.
Okay.
That's the questions I had. I just wanted to...
Yep, of
So
course.
are you like a cop?
Oh, no. This is, a secondary role of my position. My
Jalen,
position
what
is
would...
quite unique.
Jalen, what would... you go over to Tefala, who's fidgeting with her gadget to get the women to calm down.
Alright, so I guess... For the women, I would, the general questions would be, who was that you were talking to? Why were you taken aback by their presence?
Well, she's...
What's going on? Who were you talking to? Why were you taken aback by their presence?
Well, she's the grave speaker. Oh, she's well, her skills are unsettling to say the least, but pretty much the only time you ever see her around is when there's death, so...
And then I'm assuming if I ask them what's going on, they're going to talk about the murder upstairs.
Yeah. Are you part of the what do they call themselves? Gnome Land Security? That is helping Lady Raylan now?
Apparently. That's what we're called.
This is how
To
you guys
stand
get your
together
name.
To make the vote on the changing of the name.
Oh, we definitely need to change the name.
I don't know. It's kind of grown on me now.
The name is amazing. Come on.
It's definitely in the gnome's favor.
I mean, half the group was gnomes till this point.
Tell security if you want to fly under the radar, should be like we're the A team or something like
The
that.
gnome team.
Oh,
Flying under
God.
the radar, under, gnomes are short, gnome land security. Bam.
Ay,
Okay, but-
ay.
I think this is like a discussion for later when we're not trying to help some people with a dead person.
Yeah, that's true.
Tivala, you hear this conversation with Jalen and the women. Are you doing anything else other than fidgeting with the gadget? Which does seem to be helping some of them.
Oh god, I can't even remember the name anymore. But my ferret hops off and like is like trying to be like somewhat of an emotional support at the moment.
And some of them are
It's
definitely
super
excited
friendly.
to see the ferret and will pet it and play with it. And you're definitely helping distract them. Hi, lady.
That's my daughter.
Well, she says
I
hi,
guess right
Mom.
upstairs.
Yeah,
Yes, Blood
definitely.
Iron. Gnomeland Security is the name the group is
With a
currently
question
operating
mark.
under.
It is a wonderful name. We have tradition with it now. It is canon. We can't break our tradition. We have a multiple of hours of tradition now.
No, it's not canon. Okay, but we need to help this person. We offered our help. We need to help.
So you guys are
I think we
in the room with the body. You've seen that the window is open. You've investigated the body. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I'm investigating outside the window.
Now, while your friend does whatever he's doing,
Yeah. Your guess is as good as mine.
would you like to speak to the victim?
I mean, I'm not able to in its current condition, but
I was asking in general, would you like to speak to the victim?
usually helpful.
Okay. I'm gonna use another spell slot to cast my version of Speak with Dead. And the
Okay.
purple stuff comes out of the staff and I, touch the corpse.
And Curie, you see the corpse raise up from the torso. The head lolls again. The slash on the side of the neck ripping just a little bit more as the head lolls.
I apologize for rousing you once again, but it appears that we have more questions.
Ask then.
I missed what you asked earlier.
If they saw the person, what did they look like? And then I
What did
can't
their
recall the
face
third.
look like?
Yeah.
And how tall were they?
Okay. So they didn't know who it was, or
No, they didn't. And
It
I
was a
also
person wearing a black moon mask.
I also asked who would want him dead, but it's a nobleman, so.
Yeah, he gave the best answer he could. Anyone that wants a nobleman dead.
yeah. how many questions you get? 3?
Usually.
Well, I'll throw out a couple, and maybe Kelmorn, if you have any ideas, I'll throw out a couple, and then you can ask whatever you think might be most helpful for your investigation. But I mean, like, who knew he was coming here? That might be something.
The lifeless eyes look over to you, Kiri, already fogging over. It is an unsettling feeling, to say the least, to be stared at by a dead man. Many knew I was a regular. My family hated it.
Were you able to injure the person who killed you? I mean, clearly you were fighting.
Absolutely. Their left hip had quite a blow upon it.
Well, that's good information.
And since it had been told that the gnome would ask it one question, its head kind of lolls, hanging backwards as its dead eyes look to Kelmorn.
That's creepy.
Calmar will look over. Okay, cool. Calmar does not seem unfazed at all, or phased in any negative way at looking at a dead thing, talking to him. And before. He's done it before. I actually do not have any pertinent questions that have not already been asked.
Its head
Except
will... Huh?
Did your assailant leave the same way they came in?
I did not see as they fled.
The Chalmar started looking around at the blood splatter and all that to see if there was any... If there's any that does not appear to come from the victim. Because he said he
You're
injured him in the hip.
You're trying to differentiate blood now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Also investigating... Well, I'm trying to see if there's a little bit of droplets of blood that are not in the main area. Like, we can see where he died, and that's where the majority of the blood is. I'm trying to see if there's any blood that's further away from that area.
Well, there was some on the blood on the bed from the initial attack, and there was some splatter that went onto the wall, and then there's the pool that he's laying in.
Okay,
Go ahead and roll it, and you can roll an investigation check to see if you can find stray droplets.
All right, Carrie, would be able to aid me, please?
Yes, I can.
And
Also have. Oh, go ahead.
while they're doing that, I'm gonna put on these black gloves that is part of my job to have, and I'm gonna cradle the back of the guy's neck and dispel the magic and gently put him back down.
Okay.
Can I have Belmar just kind of patrol the area, see if there's any magical invisibility, and also just smell and see if he smells anything, interesting, an additional smell besides victim and whatever.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation for him as well. What was your investigation, Kelmore?
Well, I'm wondering how does Kiri actually aid me? Before
Are you
all of my-
assisting? Are you giving inspiration? Or are you doing guidance?
Okay. Because you still have inspiration if you didn't
No,
use.
I've used the die.
Oh, you used it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to give me inspiration again.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
You can do it, Kilmore.
Okay, so we're starting at a 10 plus a D4 plus a D8, right?
Yep.
16.
Alright. You look around the room to try and find any blood that doesn't fit the pattern. It's hard to tell since some of the furniture was kind of scattered in the process. The ottoman at the foot of the bed is now on its side. The chair that was in front of the desk is across the room. But it does appear as if there is a smallest amount of blood on the windowsill.
Alright, and I am definitely going to, right here. This might be where our assailant left. Should definitely, take up chase. Where's Jalen? I think he would be best at this.
I was walking up to the room.
Okay. I'd say you would probably make it up between your conversation and theirs. You would probably be getting up to the room at about the time that Raylan is laying down the corpse.
Good.
Jalen.
That could have been bad.
I believe our murderer fled through the window here, and I have some blood that might be, from him. I figured you might be the best tracker for that.
We can find out.
And we will continue the hunt for the assailants next session. We have our group together at last. We went from star-crossed lovers to murder in a brothel. An exciting episode on the Tales of Teltadorae for sure. A potential group name has emerged. Some of which enjoy it, some of which do not.
This is
Feel
what
free.
I provide to the group is much needed inspiration.
And I'm taking that effect off now.
While you're in chat, feel free to tell us what you think of that group name, and we will find someone to raid before we call it a night. Is there anything anyone would like to say about this session, to the chat, to each other? Because this was a fun session.
I had a lot of fun.
Yes, I would like to say one thing.
Go for it. That's...
I have like a permanent -5 to my AC, I'm sure.
Anything about the session?
Thank you very much. Your as per usual, your DMing is definitely on point. You have some great descriptions, great work on your voice acting and all that. You definitely try to pull everybody into it. I tried to stay a little bit out of it, especially since, you know, we're missing Cookie and Teddy for the last sessions. I kind of wanted them to get some spotlight in and all that. And hopefully this next session, Teddy can do his thing with the tracking of the blood and all that. It was actually nice to see Heidi fail and kind of a persuasion, and then Kelmorn saving the day at the end. That's normally not the case. But then the very next interaction was like, okay, we're back to normal. So, and of course, welcoming our new players should be very good to see how this female centaur melds with the group. I cannot wait until everybody knows all about their subclass and all that. So.
Anything else anyone would like to say before we depart for the night?
That was a fun return back. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to Teddy. I'm glad you're feeling better. Nicefall, I hope you feel better and get rid of that cough soon. Pockets, welcome to the campaign. I'm glad you had fun. Hopefully we are not too much for you. And as always, you guys were fantastic RPers. I love running sessions for all of you. And
Man.
what was that, Pockets?
I had a lot of fun.
Yay.
Very interesting.
Always.
I'm glad to hear it. But thank you again, everyone, for hanging out for this section of Tales of Teltadorae. And we will see you next week, hopefully in person, maybe with a new set. Who knows how it goes? Things are happening, and it's exciting. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we are off air.